First of all, let's gain an important insight. Anyone who believes that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is just a simple remake of the classic with improved graphics and retelling of the story has apparently been wrong. The game is only a remake in the true sense, so don't expect a remake like Resident Evil 2. The game will be a reinterpretation that let players dive deeper into the world than ever before. The same applies to the characters, who are to be treated much more extensively. The story of the characters will be greatly expanded to bring interesting new information to fans of the series. I think I'm in the minority because I don't really mind that the Final Fantasy VII Remake takes place only in Midgar. The release of the Final Fantasy VII Remake does not happen in one piece, but is similar to, for example, the adventure games by Telltale with several episodes. According to Square Enix, each episode will not only offer a unique gaming experience but also have the scope of a full-sized game. Additionally, the team wants to give more depth to the neglected side characters such as Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse. Without the episode format, project leader Tetsuya Nomura is convinced they would have had to cut content. Do you remember the slums region and the soundtrack behind it? Seeing Tifa riding a chariot near the playground, and your favorite character Cloud getting dressed up by Aerith so that he could get into the Honeybee Inn in order to save Tifa. I can't wait to see Dawn crying like a little kid and throwing a tantrum in HD. I feel like there is so much more to explore within the slums area. From a big picture perspective, imagine the different sectors within Midgar, the kind of place you could spend hours exploring every single city street. There is so much potential for the expansion of stories, more side quests, and more areas to probe. That idea really excites me. Midgar itself is a huge place to delve into. In the trailer, the camera pans out and shows the enormous size of Midgar. I hope that was an in-game camera panning out, not just a CGI cutscene. The level of detail in the cities shown in the trailer was very intricate, even up to the micro level. You can read different billboard signs and cars and people move around the streets. Livestream on YouTube posted an analysis of the trailer that was over an hour long, and another YouTuber called Vizuvazat said he will make a 10-part series analyzing the trailer. In this remake, we can experience Midgar in all its glory as we move deeper into the background of each character. I've also learned we'll see a Midgar that's never been seen before, not in the original Final Fantasy VII and not in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Furthermore, the first part will be so extensive that it will require 2 Blu-ray discs to deliver the game. Could we expect 20 to 30 hours of gameplay for each disc? If the developers want to bring the whole world of Final Fantasy VII to life, then they definitely have a lot of work to do. The Final Fantasy VII project will, therefore, not be finalized for a long time. I can't wait to see my grandkids playing this game. The new combat mechanics look good. The release of Final Fantasy XV has allowed Square Enix's development team to gain experience in the production of modern games with dynamic gameplay, among other skills. The original game system, which is turn-based, will eventually be replaced by a real-time hybrid system that will allow you to change your character on the fly. I imagine the gameplay will be like that of Kingdom Hearts, but I can't really say much about it until I get a feel for playing the game. I've heard YouTubers and journalists alike who attended the E3 conference talk about the gameplay, but their explanations still don't quite satisfy me. Well, until I get my hands on the game, I can only imagine. Obviously, watching a stream and actually playing the game are entirely different. The quick reflexes that you have to make, the desperate moment when you see your party getting annihilated, the adrenaline rush you get when fighting the enemies, all those moments can be experienced by just watching a stream. I wish that Square Enix would at least release demo gameplay. In terms of the active time battle system, 2 ATB bars will increasingly fill when the fighters begin making standard attacks. Once full, they will allow the players to use tactical mode, in which the surrounding world will slow down greatly, allowing the players to use skills, spells, or inventory items, or interact with the environment. The only systems similar to the ATB system that I can think of are the Fallout Vets slow motion system or Dragon Age tactical view mode. I hope that the players can make other choices besides slowing down time. For example, a player who chooses not to enter into tactical mode can instead customize the ATB by increasing the character's passive damage output or auto-casting spells or skills when the ATB bar becomes full. Now let's talk about Aerith. My favorite shot during the extended trailer was when she was kneeling on the ground, looking up at the sky with her beautiful eyes. At first glance, I got the feeling that she was about to cry, and I almost feel sad as well. But I think that it was just lights reflecting in her eyes from the city streets and buildings nearby. I used to ship Cloud and Tifa, but now I'm not so sure. When they first revealed Tifa in the trailer with her own music theme, all the nostalgia about her came rushing down on me. Her voice sounds very soothing and compassionate. She is soft-spoken, completely contradicts Aerith's cheerful and pushy personality. I know Tifa's looking great and all, but after seeing Aerith, I feel
trapped.
Tifa's design is great overall, but it could be improved in terms of making her look more realistic. Tifa looks great, but Aerith, she looks amazing. I don't have any complaints about her costume. It looks great on her. Despite the changes they've made to her, she looks like she's still going to be many fans' favorite character. It may not have turned out like how I imagined, but I am still very on board with everything else about how she looks right now. Her face is gorgeous, and she's glowing in the trailer. Her actions moves are pretty awesome too. I do hope she will still get to carry and throw gigantic monsters with her limit breaks like in the original. The gameplay cutscenes are the absolute beast. I love it when you can switch characters on the go, and I hope that the AI can be customized and programmed like in Final Fantasy XII. I will also like the option of playing a single character throughout the entire game. I know that will be difficult, but that's a challenge that I would love to tackle. About the materia system being visible on the weapons, I wonder how they will design the weapons' appearance with 10 materials on top of them. I hope the design won't be ugly. I don't want the weapon looking like a monster with many eyes on its face. If you search for trypophobia on Google, you know what I mean. Wait, stop, I'm just joking. Don't go and search for that on Google. You have been warned. Let's not forget about Barret, one of our best characters. In the trailer, the voice for Barret really leans into that of Mr. T.
On your own shot,
Mr. T takes seconds?
Yes, no! I pity the fool!
He also sounds like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
You know any retired war heroes? You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Y'all gotta look at the bigger picture here. Nothing worth fighting for was ever won without sacrifice.
He still wears his sunglasses with scars around his eyes, and the word on his dog tag can be seen and read. It shows the amount of detail the designers put into designing his character. Compared to his design in the 2015 trailer, the most noticeable change that can be seen is his chest hair. Cloud's looking great compared to his scrawny design in the 2015 trailer. His looks were buffed up, and his voice fits his personality and appearance.
I heard you're having second thoughts. I'm fine. A flower?
His hair design looks good, and there's not much of a difference between it and the 2015 version. So far, I have no complaints about Cloud's design, voice, or playstyle. In regards to voices, the game should offer the choice of language, at least between Japanese and English. Have you seen the State of Play teaser trailer? Aerith in the English and Japanese dubs convey two different personalities. In the English version, she sounds more cheerful.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Here, this is for you.
While in the Japanese version, she sounds more concerned.
大丈夫? お花どうぞ.
Even her facial expressions look different. I want to play both versions. The development team is made up of about 200 people. Kitase notes that at least half of them were too young to work on video games during the original Final Fantasy VII era, and that they are people who first knew him as players. According to the producer, the creators were very attached to the game. They did not want to lead it in the wrong direction but wished to improve their favorite parts of the game. This is good news because most of the younger developers know the feelings and emotions when they first play the game during their childhood. They not only develop the game because it's in their job quota. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is really beautiful and obviously very faithful to the original work, but it remains to be seen. After E3, there was already a lot of speculation about whether the remake would be released for both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Currently, Square Enix could not give accurate information about each release or the number of episodes. The only thing that is certain so far is that the first episode will be centered around the metropolis Midgar. By the time the entire game is released with all its episodes, the next generation consoles will probably have been on the market for a long time.